Last Thursday marked a pivotal moment in my life. It began with the unsettling discovery of texts intended to remain hidden, followed by clandestine whispers that shattered the tranquility of our bedroom. Each covert rendezvous disguised as overtime and every deceitful utterance in the shadows gradually unraveled the foundation of our shared existence. As my heart raced and trust eroded, I resolved to confront her tonight. Beneath the harsh glare of truth, the facade would crumble, revealing the betrayal that threatened to upend everything we held dear. This is my narrative, and you're invited to witness its unfolding. Despite lingering doubts, my love for her remained steadfast throughout our 15-year marriage. Anomalies, previously unseen, began to stir unease within me. Her demeanor shifted noticeably when the new boss assumed control at her workplace. Curiously, our domestic life flourished, marked by a newfound desire for intimacy, a departure from her previous comportment. Late-night messages and prolonged hours at work became routine, each explanation seemingly justified, yet fueling my growing jealousy. I instructed the private investigators to delay their findings, clinging to the hope that my suspicions were unfounded. However, 3 months later, the comprehensive report shattered that fragile hope, presenting irrefutable evidence in the form of videos, audio recordings, and photographs that confirmed my worst fears. With resolve, I promptly instructed Grant, my attorney, to initiate divorce proceedings by Wednesday, unbeknownst to her, as I prepared to confront her and her paramour on Thursday evening, armed with a surprise of my own. Polly's audacity, particularly considering her familiarity with my discerning nature and resolute character, astounded me. She witnessed firsthand my tenacity in business, my ascent to the upper echelons, and my triumph over adversaries. As a significant stakeholder in a prominent trucking enterprise, I command respect from both drivers and union representatives, having earned a reputation for fairness and generosity. I have lavished Polly with adoration, treating her as royalty, a sentiment likely echoed in her conversations with friends and family. Yet, despite this affection, she jeopardized everything for a fleeting liaison. The question of her motivation lingers, gnawing at my conscience even as time grows short. Why would she imperil our cherished bond? It's a question that plagues me incessantly. Polly's actions confounded me, given her role as a devoted mother and wife who efficiently managed our household while excelling as an executive assistant at a nearby technology firm. She appeared to have mastered the art of balance. Never in my wildest imagination did I entertain the notion of her infidelity. I am Henry Cooper, Polly's husband of 15 years and father to our 2 beloved daughters, who hold me in high regard. I embody the archetype of a sturdy patriarch, steadfast yet tender in my regard for my wife, whom I view as a precious gem. Possessing my father's imposing stature, standing tall at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 265 pounds of sinew, I am a gentle giant until provoked. Polly has witnessed my protective instincts firsthand, especially when the admiring gazes of other men lingered on her slender frame and elegant demeanor. I don't tolerate disrespect, but Polly knows I'll go to great lengths to protect her. Her affair raises numerous questions for me. Why would she jeopardize everything we've built, knowing the depth of my loyalty and love for her? It's a conundrum that continues to haunt me. It was our scheduled date night on Thursday. I meticulously planned every detail ahead of time with the assistance of my confidant, ensuring our activities remained discreet. A generous tip to the hostess ensured our privacy from prying eyes. Unaware of my orchestrated trap, Polly believed I was out of town. The audio evidence revealed her eagerness to rendezvous with her boss that Thursday evening, igniting my fury. Listening to their plans, oblivious to the impending storm, fueled my anger. Utilizing specialized software, I monitored Polly's conversations, capturing every incriminating word. Each message further stoked my ire, especially when he suggested picking her up from our home. My course of action was clear: confront them, create a scene, and serve divorce papers the following morning. My anger blazed, extinguishing any semblance of compassion I might have harbored. However, a lingering doubt persisted. Deep down, I recognized Polly's love for me and our children. Yet, my thirst for vengeance drowned out any sense of mercy. Some may advocate for forgiveness, citing our years together and the trivial nature of the affair. But as a proud and jealous man, I couldn't bear the thought of another man winning her affection. Though my love for her endured, her betrayal tainted our bond. With surveillance in place, I patiently awaited the opportune moment to act. Thursday night arrived. As they settled in, I prepared to make my move. Exiting my vehicle, I entered the restaurant, exchanging pleasantries with the hostess while striving to maintain composure. Scanning the room, I spotted them. My heart sank as I observed them, a blend of betrayal and fury coursing through me upon seeing Polly adorned in a dress she had never worn for me. Her deception fueled my wrath, compelling me to uncover the truth. Taking a deep breath, I approached unnoticed. Polly and her boss were engrossed in each other, oblivious to the tempest I was about to unleash. With calculated steps, I closed the distance, my determination solidifying with each stride. Seating myself at their table, I remained inconspicuous until I retrieved a chair from a nearby table. Shock and guilt flickered across Polly's face as I engaged her in conversation, feigning ignorance of the situation. Struggling to maintain composure, Polly introduced me to her companion, further stoking my ire. As our confrontation escalated, Polly demonstrated her cunning and agility. As my drink arrived, I disregarded her falsehoods, offering a congenial toast to deflect attention from her deceit. "Let's raise a toast," I remarked with a smile, redirecting focus away from her subterfuge. "Here's to an eventful evening and a new beginning." Turning to her boss, Jasper, I maintained my facade. "I wasn't aware of Polly's intentions, Jasper. Do you understand the foundation of Polly and my successful 15-year marriage? It's rooted in honesty and trust. Are you in a committed relationship, Jasper?" I inquired, already knowledgeable of the answer from the comprehensive report. "Yes," Jasper replied with enthusiasm. "Married for 2 decades with 4 wonderful children." He also emphasized the importance of trust and transparency. "Good to know, Jasper," I responded, redirecting my attention to Polly. "Would you say you share the same sentiment?" "Certainly, darling. Trust and honesty are fundamental in our relationship," Polly affirmed confidently. "As you can see, Jasper," I continued, taking a deliberate sip, "our marriage thrives on trust. As long as Polly remains faithful, she has my unwavering support." Each word carried weight, gradually tightening the metaphorical noose, poised to unveil their affair. "So, how long have you two been romantically involved?" I inquired with a smirk, anticipating their reaction. Polly's demeanor flickered as she attempted to maintain composure. She shot me a piercing look and pleaded, "Sweetheart, this is merely a professional gathering. Please refrain from causing a scene and embarrassing me in front of my employer." "You know me better than that," her companion chimed in, echoing her sentiments. "Henry, this is strictly business," he added calmly. I needed to discuss some business matters with Polly. I apologize if it appears otherwise, but my intentions are purely professional. Feigning hurt, I muttered, "Apologies for the misunderstanding," assuming a meek demeanor. "So, this is strictly a business dinner? No romantic involvement?" "Exactly, Henry," Polly asserted, forcing a smile. "Purely business, nothing more. Please stop acting childish." I lowered my head and played along. "I'm sorry," I whispered, concealing my anger. "Given your attire and the charming company, you can understand my unease," I murmured. Attempting to diffuse the tension, Jasper interjected, "Henry, there's no need for apologies. If my spouse were in your shoes, I'd feel the same." As the situation seemed to simmer down, I signaled to the individual at the bar holding a thick dossier. He approached and handed me the folder. Spreading out the incriminating photographs, I locked eyes with Polly. My voice trembled with anguish. "Polly, I love you wholeheartedly," I expressed, laden with sorrow, "but your deceit has shattered our marriage. I cannot overlook what I've witnessed and heard. Thank you for dismantling what we once had." Polly gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. Jasper, now visibly agitated, demanded an explanation for the damning evidence, but I swiftly silenced him with a commanding gesture, laying out the proof before him. Taking a moment to scrutinize each image, I delivered cutting remarks. Polly's tears flowed freely now, her pleas for forgiveness falling on deaf ears. Conscious of the surrounding diners, I endeavored to keep our exchange subdued, witnessing her palpable fear. Clutching at hope, Polly implored, "I'm sorry, my love. Let's depart and converse. It's not as it seems, I swear. Offering her a bitter smile, I enunciated each word deliberately. Not as it seems, I echoed solemnly. Are you prepared to maintain this facade? Both of you need to comprehend the gravity of this situation. I possess hours of evidence, videos, audio recordings, text messages, emails, and more. Polly, after witnessing those videos, I never imagined you capable of such deception. Yet, here we are. I gestured to my friend, silently indicating for him to outline our strategy. Handing Polly the divorce documents, I delivered the news with chilling resolve. Polly, our marriage has reached its end, I stated, my tone devoid of emotion. You and your paramour have extinguished my love for you. Tonight, you will sign these papers here at the bar in the presence of our notary acquaintance. Should you refuse, I will divulge the truth to your parents, friends, and most significantly, our children. While I've endeavored to be equitable in this dissolution, our daughters will reside with me. They deserve better than a mother who betrays their trust. Turning to Jasper, I spoke with unwavering determination. I advise you to persuade her to sign. Failure to do so will result in the dissemination of all evidence to your spouse and superiors at your workplace. Once I take action, you will lose your job, and Regina will ensure your financial ruin. I prefer to avoid such measures, hence ensure she signs the documents, after which my soon-to-be ex-wife is entirely yours. I want no further involvement with that deceitful woman. My words hung ominously in the air, piercing through Polly's defenses. The prospect of losing custody of her children intensified the fear etched on her tear-streaked face. Her boyfriend's panic was palpable. Despite Polly's pleas for leniency and hollow vows of reform, I remained resolute, unmoved by her entreaties. Rising from my seat, I asserted my finality. I'll be heading to the restroom, I declared. Upon my return, those papers had better be signed. Otherwise, prepare for consequences beyond your imagination. Left alone with her lover, Polly sobbed uncontrollably, her desperation mounting as she clung to a glimmer of hope. Jasper recognized the gravity of the situation and acted swiftly. Polly, just sign them, he implored. But request a week's grace. Utilize that time to demonstrate your love for him. Promise counseling, commit to whatever it takes. Stall for a week. It's our only chance. I don't want this marriage to end, Polly cried, her voice breaking. Believe me. If you can delay him, there's still hope. Think of the children. You don't want to lose them, do you? He pressed, cognizant of the severity of their predicament. Her tears flowed unabated, and after several agonizing minutes, I returned. Have they been signed? I demanded, my tone sharp. Meeting my gaze, Polly spoke, her voice laden with anguish. Darling, I'll comply with your wishes, even sign these papers. But please, can you grant me just 1 week? 1 week to spend with our daughters and converse. After 15 years, can you afford me that much? I sat in contemplative silence, considering her plea. Though you merit no leniency from me after your transgressions, I'll grant your request, I conceded, every word tasting bitter on my tongue. You may return home, but you'll occupy one of the guest bedrooms. I don't want you anywhere near our marital bed during this period. Now sign them so I can depart. As she finalized her signature on the papers, I neatly placed them back into the folder and rose to depart. Before leaving, I tenderly clasped her hand in mine. Observing this, she smiled until the moment I removed her wedding bands, dropping mine into her wine glass. A fleeting sense of retribution washed over me as I glimpsed the sorrow in her eyes, a mere glimpse of the anguish she had inflicted. Turning to Jasper, I delivered a final warning. Well, you're her companion now. Do as you please, I spat, seething with resentment. But remember this, you engaged in an affair with my wife, dismantled our marriage, jeopardized so much, even the affection of my children towards their mother. Your fate rests in my hands, and I hold your fate firmly. Don't cross me. You're fortunate I refrained from executing my initial intentions. This isn't the end. You'll hear from me soon. Understood? Jasper nodded, visibly intimidated, as I loomed over him, casting a shadow over their evening. As I made to leave, Polly seized my arm, her voice pleading. Henry, please, can I accompany you home? I simply want to be with you, Please. I recoiled as if scorched, my disdain palpable. I have no desire to be near a betrayer like you, I retorted, my contempt evident. You disgust me. I'm ashamed to have ever been your husband. I wasn't kind in that moment, but I remained indifferent to her feelings. Despite the tempest raging within me, a sense of pride surged. I suppressed my fury. I had granted her a week for contemplation. Now, the consequences would unfold. That night, I heard her return late, slipping silently into the guest quarters, a somber testament to the fracture between us. The following morning, as we crossed paths in the kitchen, I remained resolute in my pursuit of retribution. "Good morning, adulterer," I greeted her icily, my voice dripping with disdain. "So, how is my unfaithful wife today?" She flinched, her gaze fixed upon her coffee cup. "Honey, we need to talk," she murmured, resorting to the same tired plea employed by every betrayer. "Listen, there's nothing left to discuss, Polly," I interjected, cutting her off. "I'm aware of it all, the betrayal, the affair, every hurtful remark you uttered about me and our marriage. I witnessed your dalliance with him, your attire chosen for him. I heard every comparison, every falsehood, every deceit. You believed me to be a fool, and I cannot fathom how you thought you could evade detection. Unless there's something I'm unaware of, there's no more to be said." "I'm the fool, not you," Polly confessed, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I don't understand why I did it. You provided me with everything, and I love you, despite what you witnessed in those recordings. You must believe that I never intended to inflict harm upon you. I never wished for you to discover the truth." "Precisely my point, Polly," I responded, my voice laced with sorrow. "You never desired my awareness. You sought to conceal it, to persist in deceit and maintain your liaison clandestinely. That's the crux of it, Polly. Infidelity can be forgiven, we're all fallible. But this wasn't a mere lapse in judgment. You made a conscious choice, opting to deceive, betray, and conceal your affair. I love you, Polly, but as Tina Turner asks, what's love got to do with it? My faith in you is shattered, and now I question if I ever truly knew you. How many others have there been? How often did you return to our bed after being with him? It sickens me." My voice faltered as tears overtook me. Polly witnessed the agony etched on my face, confronted with the gravity of her deeds. No more rationalizations remained, only the heavy burden of guilt. "All right, I'm guilty, and I despise myself for it," she confessed, her voice laden with remorse. "There was never anyone else, regardless of what I may claim. I understand that you cannot forgive me for my transgressions, but I cannot bear the thought of our separation. I'll do whatever it takes to salvage our relationship. I believe I require assistance. Perhaps we could seek counseling together to uncover what ails me. Please don't abandon me." I paused, contemplating her plea. "Polly, you can seek help, take whatever steps necessary, and I'll stand by you," I responded finally. "However, I cannot coexist with someone capable of inflicting such profound pain upon me. Your actions and words betray your true character. I cannot envision a future with someone who harbors such sentiments towards me. I am aware that other women would cherish the opportunity to be with me. You had your chance, and you squandered it. Enjoy your time with our daughters this week. Endeavor to elucidate the reasons for your departure to them. I won't disparage you, but you must clarify the circumstances. I stipulated it clearly in the divorce papers. I've granted you unrestricted access to our daughters whenever they are with me. However, should you persist in detrimental behavior and set a poor example for them, I will reconsider the terms of your visitation. I will treat you with more kindness than you deserve and facilitate your proximity to our daughters. Yet, I have 2 inquiries before you respond. Firstly, why? Why did you jeopardize everything for this? And secondly, was it worthwhile?" On Monday, I contacted Jasper and arranged a lunch meeting for Wednesday, emphasizing its importance. Over lunch, I elucidated how his actions had marred my marriage and hinted at potential repercussions. "You are to cover Polly's rent and car expenses for the next 3 years, I asserted firmly. Consider this your penance, Jasper. Despite the harm you inflicted upon me, I still hold affection for my unfaithful wife. I desire her well-being. You played a role in this debacle, Thus you must adhere to my demands. This arrangement will aid Polly in regaining her footing when I eventually ask her to leave. Failure to comply will result in the loss of your job and the revelation of your affair to Regina. Regard it as a lifeline. This is the toll for enticing a married woman. You must comprehend that actions carry consequences. Why not pursue single women instead of disrupting households? That was a cowardly act, Jasper. Epilogue. Despite my anger and anguish, I ensured Polly received fair treatment. She retains access to the children, and we maintain civility, yet she never succeeded in earning back my trust or respect. Jasper dutifully fulfilled his monthly obligations. He understood the consequences of failing to do so. Polly struggled to provide satisfactory answers to my inquiries. She expressed remorse for her actions, conceding that they were not worthwhile, but she remained unable to articulate the motivations behind her choices. Presently, she resides alone, devoid of a partner or affection, paying the price for her decisions. Losing her family and my love was sufficient, although I had the potential to cause her even more harm. Despite receiving counseling, Polly was unable to provide a satisfactory explanation for her actions. Her best attempt was, "I don't know why, it just happened. It had nothing to do with you or our marriage. I genuinely love you and was content with our life, but it was new and exciting. I made a mistake." I couldn't suppress my anger and confronted her, asking, "If you were happy, why did you dress up and wear provocative clothing for him? Why did you engage in activities with him that you never did with me?" "It just happened" is an insufficient response. You made a conscious decision to betray our trust and deliberately dress provocatively to entice him, all while claiming to love me. Perhaps one day you will find the courage to tell the truth. I believe you owe us that much. For those of us who have been cheated on, it remains an unsolvable puzzle due to the actions of these two unfaithful individuals. I highly doubt I will ever be able to trust or love another woman again. It is a sorrowful reality, but one I must come to terms with. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Write your opinion in the comments.